Hey, welcome to another episode of TK's Tech Corner, where we look at all things techie for the average user. Hey, so I know it's been a while since you guys last saw me. It's been about 10 months since my last upload, but I'm back. It's 2024 and I'm ready to give you guys some more content. So to jump into it, let's look at my new studio space and see the gear that I use to achieve the look that you see here. So forewarning, it's been 10 months since I've done a video. And I just want to get this video out as quick as possible. So I'm going to try to do the least amount of editing that I need to get this video out. So there will be mistakes. There will be some times where I, might go blank. But we're just going to try to keep it rolling to get this video out. So to start off, let's look at my lighting setup. I use 5 lights for my setup. My key light, which is off to my left-hand side, is the GVM P80 Pro. This is a COB, which basically means chip on board daylight balance light. Like in the name, it is an 80-watt light. This light is controlled by a 1-knob setup on the back of it, which basically turns it on and off and also adjusts the light output. Now, to make the light soft coming from this light, I do use a modifier on it. And this modifier is the Ambidifo P90. This is a parabolic softbox that is, I believe, let me check for you guys. It is a 36-inch parabolic softbox. Now, this model that I have, I believe is the older model, and I don't believe they sell it anymore, but they do have a replacement for it, which is the QD P90. Now, everything that I'm going to mention in this video, I'm going to try to link everything in the description. So just go down there and see the links. Now, these will be affiliate links. So if you do buy anything from these links, I will get a kickback from it. Might not be much, but it'll be something. So let's continue on. So on the softbox, I also use a grid. Now, this grid is used to to control the light spill, so I don't have the light from my key light spilling on my background. So that's the use of the softbox and the grid on this main key light. Now, my next 2 lights that I use are the newer C80s. These are flexible light panel lights. These lights serve 2 purposes. They serve as field lights for me, and also they serve as lights to light my desk area. These lights are RGB. They are 20 watts a piece. So with these lights, you can control these lights with the buttons that are on the light itself, but also these lights come with, have an app that you can use by Newer. The GVM light also has a app that you can use to control it also, which works perfect when you're trying to dial in your light settings, so as far as like your intensity and different things like that. So to give you guys an example of what I mean, I'm gonna go here to the app in my phone here. So this is the GVM app, and this controls my main light to my left-hand side. So right from here, from where I'm sitting at, so this is the app. Let's see if we can get it to focus. All right, yep. So you might be able to see it. So I'm able to turn the light on and off. So you see there is a big difference without having that key light on. I'm also able to control the intensity, turning it down, turning it up. And this light, like I said, is 80 watts. I have to have it at 100% to get the amount of light that I need on me. Now, if I was to upgrade this light, I would probably go with a 150 watt light. But at the price that I got this for, it was a steal. I was able to get 2 of these lights for, I believe, $149. So $149 for 2 80-watt lights. How could you complain? So also, just as such as this main light, my key light, I'm able to control my field lights with the newer app. So the newer app here, see if we can get it to focus. It shows that you see that I have two C80s there. So if I click on the C80s, I'll be able to go in and fine tune each one of these lights. But just for demonstration, I'm gonna show you what it looks like without these lights. So I'm gonna turn out the front light. This is the light that's directly in front of me. That light is off now. Turn it back on. That light I just turned off is the light off to my right hand side. If I turn both of them off, you see that this is just my key light on. You see how the scene looks with that. So turning everything back on and you get the look that you see here. Now, so those are three of my main lights. Lights that light my face, and also lights that light my desk area, which you'll get a chance to see a little later on when we dive into my camera setup. So the next light I have is my background light, which is also a GVM light. This light is the 800D. It also is a panel light, but this panel light is more of a heavier construction. It's made of plastic and metal, and it is bigger than the newer C80s. Also, it gives out more output. I believe this light is it's a 40 watt light, and it's also RGB. So that's what I'm using right now, is the RGB feature of it to get the blue background. Now, along with this light, I'm also able to control this light also from the GVM app. So if I just go here, back into the GVM app, it's going to take a little minute. All right, so as you see the scene right now with that light on, if I turn it off, this is the scene without that light. So as you can see, just adding a splash of color in the background does wonders for your scene. And I mean, it for me, it does exactly what I needed to do, because I don't have much in my background. I'm in the basement now. Everything behind me looks ugly because I haven't done any decorating or anything like that. But having that splash of a light in the background really helps things out. So also, in addition to that light in RGB mode, I also have a smaller light off to my right hand side here. If you can see, you see it shining on my arm. I use that light also for a feel for my background. In one of my camera angles, which you'll see later on, if I didn't have this light, then you would not see the blue wash that I have going on with that light in my background. Now, that light that I have back here is the Ambitiful K10 pocket light. That's just a small 12 watt light about this big. Now, Ambitiful does not sell this light anymore, but I have seen this light rebranded in by another company, and it's called the Pixel G1S, Pixel G1S. So like I said, it's just a small pocket light. You could probably use any type of pocket light if you wanted to, and then you'll get the same results that I'm using it for. So that's pretty much it for my lighting setup. Now let's look into the app that I'm actually using to record this video. So all the audio, video, everything that you see that's going on here is being recorded on my iPad. My iPad is running an app called Top Director. Top Director is an app that allows you to bring in NDI feeds, RTSPS feeds, and also SRT feeds, and you're able to switch between them. Now, this app, for me, is perfect for what I need to use it for. You're not only able to just record in this app, but you're also able to stream from this app. Now, with this app, it does have its little caveats and little bug issues that it has in it. But I've been working with it for so long now that I'm able to kind of work around the bugs until they get those issues fixed. But it is a great app, and this is the part of my studio, I believe, which is the future of all studios, is being able to use NDI. NDI allows me, my setup, to be able to use one single cable to each one of my cameras to be able to provide power and also to get audio and video from it, which is a game changer for me. I don't have to worry about running separate power and then running HDMI cables to a switch or anything like that. So that brings me to my camera setup. Let's look at that. So the shot that you've been looking at so far is my main talking head shot, which is the Canon RP. Now, like I said, this app that I'm using takes in NDI feed. So you may be wondering, how am I using the Canon RP in this setup, and Canon RP doesn't have NDI out? Well, I'm using something called a Zowie box. The Zowie box is actually an encoder and decoder. So the way that I'm using it is that I'm taking my feed, my HDMI feed from my Canon RP, and taking that output to the input of the Zowie box, and that Zowie box is able to put out an NDI feed, wired NDI feed to my network. So it's feeding everything, all the information into my network, but also I'm able to get power to my camera and the whole setup and the rig that I have set up through a PoE switch, which is my Ubiquiti. I have a 8-port Ubiquiti PoE switch. 4 ports on this switcher is PoE, 4 of them are not. So this is my main shot here. My second shot is what I like to call my tabletop shot. This is a Mevo Start, which is also in NDI mode, which is plugged directly into my PoE switch via the little PoE to USB-C little adapter. So this is another feed that I have and another viewpoint that I have going into Top Director. This shot here is a top-down shot. This also is another Mevo Start, also in NDI mode, hooked up the exact same way as the previous one, and you're able to get a view point and shot of my tabletop. So I'm able to show products. As you can see here, I have my Canon G7X Mark II here. So I'm able to do product reviews, product openings with a top-down shot. Now, in addition to that tabletop shot, I also have another tabletop shot that I'm able to use. So let me bring it up really quick. All right, so here we have another shot here of my table. Now, with that shot that you just saw, that is a Canon 80D. Now, the way that I'm bringing this source in from the Canon 80D is a little bit different than what I'm using from my Canon RP. The Canon 80D is actually plugged into my A10 Mini Pro ISO via HDMI. And my A10 Mini Pro ISO is actually outputting a RTMP feed to another encoder that I have, which is called the LinkPi. This LinkPi is able to send out an NDI feed to the network, which is then able to be picked up by the Top Director program running on my iPad. Now, my iPad is actually hooked into the network wirelessly. So everything going into the iPad as far as video is wirelessly because it's plugged in. Everything is connected via the GLINet Slate AX router. So I'll probably do another video to show you guys that whole setup of how I'm, basically taking all my HDMI inputs from my ATEM Mini and converted them to basically an NDI feed. But we'll get into that in another video. So that's pretty much it for all my main camera shots. Now I do have one more camera shot that I'm able to use, and I like to call it my roaming shot. So let me just go over here real quick and try to get that all set up. All right, so here's the shot that I have, that what I like to call my roaming shot. So this is my roaming shot. This feed that you're actually seeing is coming from my iPhone 11, which is running the Top Director camera app. So with this app, I'm able to use the cameras on my phone as a wireless input into my system. So I'm actually able to move around and show you guys my studio space. If we look here, you guys are able to see my ATEM Mini Pro ISO. Over here is that encoder I was talking about. This is the LinkPi encoder. Here underneath you see the Ubiquiti 8-port PoE switch. On top of that you see my Slate AX router. Here is the shot of my Mevo Start. Over here you have the Canon 80D. You guys, never mind the messy messy basement. And there up front you see my Canon RP rig. And if I'm gonna step back, we'll pull back a little bit. You can see there's my main light. There's one of my key lights. And also you see the Mevo Start, that's the top down shot. And also there you have the other newer C80 flexible panel light. So with this, as you can see, having NDI makes things very versatile. You can use different camera sources as long as that you are able to somehow convert them to an NDI feed. So even with me being in my studio downstairs with NDI, I can be upstairs and be pulling video and audio through my setup. Now, the audio is what we're going to jump into next. On how I'm running my audio right now, I'm actually running my audio through my Manio PD400X. This is a condenser microphone, and it is XLR and also USB-C outputs. So the audio that you're hearing right now is coming directly from the PD400X, and it is routed into my iPad Pro via I believe this is the camera adapter, which allows me to plug in a USB-A connector into it. So I have a USB-C to USB-A connector going directly into the iPad Pro and connecting the condenser microphone into the whole setup. Now, this microphone, as you can probably hear, sounds pretty good. On this microphone, it also has built-in different type of filters and adjustments that you can either control from buttons on the bottom of it or also through an app that you can run on an Android tablet, not the iPad, doesn't have an iPad app, but on Android tablets and also on the computer. But like I said, you can also make those adjustments here on the bottom of the microphone. So right now I have the audio going directly into the iPad. I have backup audio running into my Zoom H6 through XLR just to have a second copy just in case something goes wonky. Now the microphone is sitting on the iX Text low profile arm. This arm is a low profile arm, but also what I like about this arm is that it comes with I believe a 6-inch riser. So let me go back to this roaming camera so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So as you guys can see, you have the arm here, but also in this area, let me see if I can get it. See, this right here is a riser. I can actually take this out, and this part here will be connected down here, which would make it even more low profile. But I like having that riser there because as I'm doing things here on the desk, I don't have that arm in the way. So I'm actually able to have this arm position where I need it for me to speak, but then also I'm able to do things and grab things on my desk here without fear of bumping into this mic arm. So that's one of the features I love of this arm setup. Also, it has a headphone holder, and I can show you guys that really quick. Never mind this rat nest of wires I got going on, but right there, as you guys can see, that is the headphone holder there, and it actually flips up if you don't need to use it, flips back down. So I love this arm. You're able to adjust it up and down, just pretty much like any other boom arm that you will have for your microphone. So that's pretty much it for my setup. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to answer them as best as I can. And if you guys want to see other videos on particular parts of my studio, let me know, and I'll try to produce a video that answers all the questions that you guys may have and anything that you guys want to see. All right, thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.